back to Talk O'Clock. It's talking time and all that stuff. But I can't. I don't know what to say else. I'm your host, Hilla.
I saw it's been a while. It's been, well, actually a long time. I'm your co-host, Ethan.
Fucking eBay.
And I'm... Yes.
And I'm. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Oh shit, he's yes.
I am yes.
Now, people, when you fill out a form, when you fill out a form, it says male, female. You make your own one and tick that. Yes.
That makes me want to kill myself.
Oh
Oof.
no. So it's crazy, this world, ain't it? Now, how you can send texts from around the world in just a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Communication with
We're
technology.
having a conversation from opposite sides of the world.
And when someone's actually going to listen to this sometime down the line, they're going to say the same thing. I'm listening to two dudes who are living across the world make a conversation whilst I'm from a different part of the world listening to that conversation.
Yup.
When
It's
you
a
stop
weird
and take a
web.
moment to look at it and go, that's really how far we've gone. It's crazy on how technology's really helped us.
It is. It really is, man. Like, to think, if we didn't have the internet, how much different our lives would be.
I noticed that, but think of medical research as well. You know, some groundbreaking research which has, helped us in the past couple of decades or so and has, gone through with PCs, the cloud, USBs, things like that, storage hard drives. If it wasn't for those pieces of technology, we probably would have had a harder time then than we do now.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look back at it as well, most people go, "Oh, so you guys shouldn't do that." And I'm like, mate, you're relying off technology right now as we're speaking.
Mm-hmm. You're relying on technology to get your message out against technology.
Not just that, but think about it as well. They may be older than us. Yeah, that might mean they've seen more shit, but what is it? We're more economically stable than them.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to touch on this piece because of the fact of it, it's hit headlines. That Greta kid with their climate change speech.
Oh. I didn't hear the speech, so I have no clue.
She was calling people out saying, "How dare you," and shit like that.
Yeah, I know.
And,
She's like, how dare you take away my childhood? Take away my dreams.
Well, the thing is, she calling the grown-ups, the people who were responsible for, building them houses, homes, boats. She did kind of travel via ferry, which has a diesel backup power generator. Didn't say anything about that, did they?
Nope.
Calling the people who... They're calling the grown-ups and out and saying, "How dare you," and things. Not only does that make you look like a fucking nonce, right? But think about it in this way as well. But you're only shooting yourself in the foot. This kid's like, what, 14? And is calling guys who are in the head of, climate change, eco things, who are older and more experienced because they know what's going on. Saying "how dare you" to everyone else as well. it's not making any sense.
It really doesn't. Like,
You calling out
Right.
someone
yeah.
is a more of a hostile intent. Like if I was to be like, "Yo, you smoke crack or whatever," right? That's me calling you out, right? Then you would expect more of a hostile reaction.
No. I don't smoke crack.
But in that sense, I would call you out on it. So you'd
And-
fire back. So
Yeah.
what this kid's done is they've shot themselves in the foot. Yeah, you may be 14, yeah, you may be from Sweden, but you took a fucking boat from there to that fucking conference, which, is, oh, it's bad for the climate and shit. Then maybe read that then, you know? And the thing is, people are worrying and shit over, oh, but if the ice caps melt, have you not noticed that we're actually building some place? I was looking at some places, like really exotic places, I think like Abu Dhabi and things like that, where they've got that entire fucking floating city.
Yep.
I mean, it'll take time, but granted, if we work on it now, or just build giant walls around things, look at that. We're okay then.
I completely lost the conversation. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, now you can take a fat rip or whatever. like
Nah.
my guy fucking toasted. Thing is now with people always freaking out, and especially with that kid about climate change, it just doesn't make any sense. Calling people out in a time of mass extinction, I would. It's not really our problem. It's not their problem. We're developing, people like colonize Mars next year. I'm pretty sure. Ain't we? No, it's 2025, ain't it? They
Yo,
say,
you want to hear something interesting?
go for it.
White people are going extinct.
Factual.
White people aren't having as much children as they need to like sustain the races.
You're just trying to say this without
No.
sounding as racist as possible.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no. Like our numbers are slowly dropping because white people aren't having enough white babies to make
Yeah.
white people.
I'll say give it about an extra few more years, because remember that, everyone's always on their phone and things, Everyone's too socially inept to have a kid. Not even socially inept to have a kid, but to actually have sex with someone because they can't see face to face with someone because they're too afraid of.
Yeah.
Look at gay people as well, for example. Right? They're doing their life just fine, and that's respectable by them, right? If they want a kid, they've got the option to adopt, or that other more complicated one I don't remember the name of.
Well, that's just the thing. Most gay people are white.
I mean, you got black ones as well. You got everyone can be gay.
I know, but a lot more of them are white. If
Because
you haven't
if you've
noticed.
noticed though, they actually look cute though. So no
Take
cap
you and
though.
Elliot, for example.
It just yo, they kind of cute though. Right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Right,
Uh-huh.
I don't like interracial stuff.
You don't like interracial.
Something
mind it.
something inside me just doesn't click with it. So like Shanice, you got like Sue, and then you got Tyrone. You see,
Tyrone.
But it just doesn't make sense. You see threesome ones, and then you'd be like, oh, look, there's Sue, there's, Sharon, oh, there's Tyrone. I think the worst videos out of all of them are the hypnosis ones for, like, BBC and things. And you can agree me on that one. Because it's just fucking weird.
Yeah, oh my god.
Like, why would you want to make a hypnosis video about that anyway? Which not only just fuels racism, but is really controversial. You know, it makes no sense half the time. But it also makes sense. But it doesn't make sense because most people are like, oh, well, black people this, black people that. Oh, most white women like black people because they're dick. And I'm like, well, that's for sluts and things like that. But you also have to factor in the emotional connection of things. It's not always about sex in a relationship. Just some
That is
people, they
true.
favor it. But deep down in every relationship is the emotional connection.
Yeah.
And that's what driven you from the get-go to have that relationship. You're like, I kind of like them. They're really nice, they're really cute, blah, blah, blah. So you then proceed to talk to them and be like, hey, I really like you. And then they would confess their feelings to them, or otherwise. And then you see them get in a relationship. They're happy because they're building on it. They're gaining this emotional connection, which they didn't have previously.
Uh-huh.
And from that emotional connection as well, it brings them together.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Especially
That's true.
the other thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. The big thing for me is that I don't go for someone just for their looks. Like, if I find them cute, I'll start talking to them. And if I don't like their personality, I'm like, nah,
It's the emotion. Yeah, it's about the emotional connection to it.
But if I like them, like, as a person, and like they're like chill,
You
they're like actually
yeah,
cool person,
they
then
share
I'm like,
interests with you as well.
yeah.
Or sometimes you don't need to share much common interest, so you don't even need to be interested in the same things as them to even, enjoy being with them.
Yeah.
You might
No.
like watching Disney movies, they might like watching horror movies, things like that. But you can still build from watching something in the mix of it. I don't know any scary Disney films, but in that sense of you can find that middle ground so you can use it to build both.
Uh-huh.
Now, I find it funny because the thing is, I kind of missed about when you was here on the coast, is we can get some really deep, sentimental, really fucking deep convos as well.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Which brings me, because we're on about dating and things, online relationships.
Go for it, but if you get dumped, don't get heartbroken over it.
Exactly.
You don't actually know them.
Like you might have an emotional connection with them, well, a said emotional connection, but you can't really do much over a phone.
You
can't
don't
see
know
it
if that,
face-to-face,
and you have no idea if they're even
being
telling,
genuine.
real shit about themselves.
They could just be putting an act on because they want to see you, and that's about it. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you do a bit of window shopping in that kind of sense. Ask him, hey, what do you look like? And you'll continue to talk to him. If they look ugly or otherwise, then you'd be like, no, I don't want to talk to you. or you talk yourself out speaking to him.
Yeah.
This brings me to a weirder side of places too. When people are into like the weird parent dom things, you know, like DDLG and MDLB, for example.
I don't know what either of those mean.
Daddy dom little girl or mother dom little boy, where each play is played. So you would have, let's say for example, you'd have a girl, and
This is
she
an
would,
unknown world to me, and I don't want it to be known to me.
well, it's
This
kind
is
of
this
bad, but
sounds
like,
disturbing. I don't want to
but
know about
it's not really disturbing, but slightly disturbing in a sense, because they're
Big
not
Mama,
actual
little
children.
boy, and
Yeah, no, they're
Big
not actual.
China little girl.
They're not actually like little kids, like they pretend to be in that sense. Like let's imagine a person, right? She's 18, but in the DDLG thing, her her little age, her little being, you know, like the L in the name, because that's what they take half of the fucking time. uh, so they would have a little age where they can pretend to be said age. Some people can pretend they're, you know, like a little toddler. Some people uh, pretend to be 10 or 5. Something like an age like that.
That's kind of whack. And
So you can, let's say this girl is
I
18, but her little age is 9. She's going to behave like a 9-year-old on days where she's feeling like a little. But every other day, she's going to live a normal life.
nope.
Yeah. But
That's fucking weird. I'm
okay.
sorry to people who do it, but you're fucking weird. Like, what the fuck? This just one day you act like a fucking 9-year-old? Do you go out in public like that? Like,
No, they usually keep it in private.
yeah, I could imagine why. Like,
It's just really scary.
what was that topic that we had yesterday? I can't remember it. That's because I'm like,
One of the things we can talk about is, like I said, going back to online dating real quick. Uh, it's weird, right? More okay, yeah. Some people can hit it off just right, and I can understand that. You know, you can hit it off, and then when when you go online, you can meet them and all that. Some people fall through with it. You know, they meet face to face and they live happily ever after. Some people, they have a pretty good relationship for 2+ years or whatever. They fly and meet and go, no, I don't like you.
yeah.
And just think as well on how soul crushing that must be for both of them, really.
Yeah.
Spend 2 years of countless I love yous and I love you back. All this, wholesome love they've been doing, buying each other gifts, gone. This also brings, when people, I kind of thought this one earlier, but I never actually, this was earlier today. But most people tend to forget that men can be victims of emotional abuse, rape,
Yeah.
traumatic things, right? Because when men say it, most of the time people are like,
Girl.
"You're just making it up,"
Pussy.
or "You had free sex, man up," and I'm like, it doesn't necessarily work like that. And this is the other thing as well. When women or when men say they have had it happen, right? Obviously, they've got traumatic abuse from it, traumatic memories and things like that.
If a man is complaining about being raped, I'm sure it wasn't pleasurable.
That's what I mean. Like the whole consent system exists, yet apparently when a man brings up him actually being raped, that's out the fucking window, which in turn makes zero sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how? You make a system to stop people from being rapists, but when something happens and a man is actually the victim, why do you
Oh
turn a
my
blind eye
God.
to it?
Speaking of mental, like, shit like that, fucking chicks on Snapchat. My God. That
And
fake depression bullshit.
the other thing is, what makes no sense is when they talk about, when women can also be rapists. That's the other thing most people tend to obviously ignore,
Yep.
because obviously they think, oh, it's not possible, and I'm like, it is. Remember that people can do things like that, especially look at the young ones. A young boy of whatever age, the woman would take advantage, but the kid, knows and thinks of it, but they think he's made it up. And I'm like, so the Me Too movement can shoot people's careers, but when a man admits to being a victim of rape and all that, why do they turn a blind eye to it? Yes, they may be like a really like minority of things, but we have to address it before it becomes a serious issue.
Yeah.
Like, we, or just people in general, can be a victim. We don't know.
Yeah.
And if they do ever speak up about it, you never know. They might just get silenced because the fact of, oh, you're just making it up for some attention. When people go through traumatic abuse, they obviously get some pretty bad experience from it. So explain then, when someone's severely emotionally hurt, what will they do then? It just makes no sense half of the time.
I don't know. But I must really hustle. Fuck.
The meaning
So
of
but me. The meaning of life. It's
yes.
42.
It's 42, my guys.
If you don't get that reference, you're a pleb.
I personally think the meaning of life is to love.
I think the meaning of life is to live while you're alive.
Pro tip, kids, when you die, you die.
Yo, you ain't get no respawns. This is hardcore Minecraft.
No.
You die, the world gets deleted.
From you, yeah. You just get disconnected. Yeah, look,
Yo.
guys, he disconnected. Oh man, that was a funny meme back in the day. I do enjoy seeing new things come, though. They just sound really weird.
New things come. Ooh.
Confirmed eBay is gay.
Nope.
Just confirmed it right now, guys.
That is nope.
Single men him.
Sorry, gay people, but I am
Actually,
not
no.
interested in
Hit
the
Gabe's
male
line.
race.
Yo, hit Gabe's line.
I just said the male race.
Send the entire male race to Gabe's house.
Yes.
Send the YMCA.
If y'all single men are interested, there's a single man named Gabe Ramaglia. He already said this on the podcast, so He'll be good. Hit him up, man.
Yeah, he
He
does not
needs a caring man to hold him at night, you know?
to hold him close, cradle him like a baby under the
Yes.
candlelit dinners of the moonlight.
To make him the little spoon.
Elliot's my little spoon is fucking great.
I wish I had a little spoon.
Mate, what you do is you go down to the kitchen, you get a big spoon and a little spoon, and boom, you got a big spoon and a little spoon. What have you achieved today? What have you achieved today, my friend?
Loneliness.
Depression.
Nah, I'm good though.
Or are you going to use both spoons to inject heroin because your name's Demi Lovato?
Yes, it's exactly what I will do.
I find it funny, speaking of drugs and things, I find it funny when you see like retards drinking the bong water and shit.
Oh shit! Drinking bong water and shit.
Why would you do it?
Oh, I was told this one story. Funny as fuck. They're at this party, and they were like, it was like a big fucking sesh. Like everybody was taking hits out of this one bong, so the water was just filthy, like thick. And what they did is they would blow the smoke through the bong, like out through the bottom,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't be like stale. And they tried to do it, but they were high, so they sucked in.
Oh no.
And they sucked in all the bong water. And it was just like the sludge was they I'm gagging thinking of it. They took in big gulp and swallowed. And then their friend was looking at them, and they just turned to him and they're like, "Did you really just do that?" And it was like, "Yup." And they just threw up. Nasty. I was like,
What could be
God
worse,
damn.
drinking used bong water or eating shit?
Probably eating shit's worse,
Yikes.
I would think.
I find it funny everyone's got their own like experience with some sort of drug.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like I can understand if you was, in your free time, so you're not like destroying yourself.
Yeah.
As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you got self control, I think you're okay.
Nah, it's about what you're doing.
But self
You're
control
doing
in that
like
sense.
if you're doing crack, you can get addicted from like you can get addicted to that really easily. Same shit with coke. You can get addicted after using cocaine once,
You see, I'm more of a Pepsi kind of man though, so
right? Pepsi's so much more better.
I think it kind of depends on what you eat or what you're having it with. You know what I mean?
Yup.
Like, I much prefer having Pepsi when I have Pizza Hut, but if I was having Domino's, I would be having Coke.
Hmm. I don't know. I just always get Pepsi. I just like Pepsi more than I like Coke. I find Coke kind of like repulsive. Unless I'm at like a restaurant, I'm like, "Can I get a Pepsi?" And they're like,
We don't
"We
do
only have
Pepsi
Coke."
here,
And it's
bitch.
like, I guess I'll settle for that knockoff shit.
Coke. They just fucking whip it out on the table. You're just, you'd be like, what the fuck? People's opinions change on things, and I find it really funny.
That is true.
I think the funnier ones would be like the people who have. I used to know this one kid who was anti-gay, right? Really anti-gay.
Mm-hmm.
And about a few months ago, this
Maybe
motherfucker.
it was because he couldn't accept that he was gay.
No, this was like for a good few months, like hardcore anti-gay. Fast forward because I stopped speaking to him because I just completely forgot about him. It turns out this kid is married now.
Really? To a man?
Yeah, in pretty much the gayest of gay. And I was like, bro, time really fucking kills people, my guy.
I think he was anti-gay because he couldn't accept that he was gay.
But I will say this, right?
And then when he finally did,
As
it was
long as you
like,
practice safe sex, it's all okay.
Yep.
Just
Make
don't
sure you
pull a
ain't
Freddie Mercury.
rupturing their anus.
I was going to say, remember your limits. This also kind of brings me back to, I think, last week's episode or the week before that, where I was talking about low-quality sex toys. Now, obviously, this can be bad for your health because of the fact of, you buy it off a Wish, you don't know what it's made out of. Your body could be allergic to that. So, it could be, you're sitting there, you're alone, you're like, oh, I'm feeling frisky, I'm going to try it out today. So, you try it out and boom, you're like, why do I feel really icky and sick? Why am I feeling really sore there, even though, I've done all this?
Yeah.
But then you realize you're allergic to it. And not just that, but some of the other things is the quality of or the materials they use can also be bad as well. For, like carrying illness, bacteria, things like that. Yeah, clean your toys out and things like that, but some of them, just by nature, are just not good.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I say this, I mean, you can go on to Amazon right now and, buy a dildo for what? $15? Including shipping?
Probably.
And then, as a matter of fact, I think last time I checked one, before I done the podcast episode, like last week or the week before, I checked, and I'm pretty sure it's got over like 1,600 reviews or something. And,
Mm-hmm.
but, it's got so many reviews and things.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a matter of fact, a lot of people bought it. So for $15, you can buy a starter one, and then I also said this as well. The thing is, if you also go on like a site like Bad Dragon and buy that as your first toy, you're going on a really hardcore gamble. Because for all you could have, they make that toy, they make it, they make all of it, send it over to you. You
But
try
Bad
it out.
Dragon is actually
But-
like a high quality
No,
thing.
but I'm saying you can drop a shit ton of money on something what is sometimes guaranteed quality, but you might not like it. You
Yeah,
can drop $200-300
I guess
of a
so.
dildo, and then you take it.
But
you
I
get
mean,
it, you
I
just
don't
try it
think
out,
you're,
and then go,
you're
I don't like it.
I don't think you're gonna get a dragon dildo for your first fucking dildo.
No, some people
That'd
don't.
be real intense.
It's not always about dragons on their site. That's what I'm saying is, the thing is, we're going to a shop like that from the get-go, it would be, you're gambling more than you should be.
Well, what do you mean? I feel
Because,
like you're not gambling. I
no,
feel like
because
you'd
if
be
it's your
playing
first
it
time,
safe doing that.
no, because remember as well, some, you can get flashlights and dildos and things, but I'm saying, people, who try it out, they've never done anal or something, and they buy one, they customize it and all that shit, and they take it, they get it after a few months or whatever, how long it takes, and then they try it out and go, I don't like it.
Well, then you just don't use it.
Yeah, but then you've dropped $300 on something
Then
that's
you
now going to
clean
be a
it, and
mantelpiece.
then you give it to your girlfriend who's like very sexual, the one that you talk about sex with, you know?
Yeah,
That's who you give it
but I'm
to.
saying if it was used for your personal, like you've kept it for yourself, you know, you've wanted to try it and go. I don't really think you'd give away something for like $300 like that, just like that. Think about the moral level of it as well. Whereas you can buy something, right? It may not be fancy or shaped like whatever fantasy creature, right? But punchline there. but but it will help you if you was to go on Amazon and buy something cheap, like a normal standard, real, real shaped one, so you can actually try it and not go, I've just dropped $300 on a mantelpiece now. Now, some people, actually do that. They'd buy something really expensive, try it out and go, I don't like the feeling of anal or whatever they had, and then go, I don't like it, I'm not going to use it anymore. But now you've just wasted so and so much of your life waiting for that item to arrive, and also $300 to $400 on whatever you was getting. So you see how it becomes an issue. So I'd say if it's your first time ever getting any sex toy, whatever, I would recommend you look on Amazon first, because it's just it makes sense. Not to say, but Amazon's fucking huge, so you've got a huge choice anyway. And then sort by reviews as well, like stars, because then you can guarantee, for a matter of fact, everyone likes it. If not, you can always, open the item product page and look through reviews yourself. I'm not going to on this podcast because I mean, we covered that like last week, so I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I didn't watch last week's podcast
But in
because
that sense of, you can drop 15, $16 on a toy, which then, if you don't like it, it's not going to be much of a financial impact nor a moral impact once you go, I don't like it. Or if you do like it,
yeah,
then hey, look, you can now go on to like Bad Dragon and buy one or whatever.
yeah.
Because then, as a matter of fact, if you don't like it, oh, you've only spent $15 on it. Okay, you can discard it or give it to a friend or something, right?
Why are we talking about dildos?
But it's just a moral choice and decision. That's what I'm saying. So you can like it, then there you go. You haven't shot your money yet, but now you can, if you wanted to. Then you got the option of, you can buy a few other ones on Amazon and then try it out and see if you actually, decide on it. And if you don't like it, then hey, look, you haven't dumped what, $300 into something.
Yo.
And the more weirder thing is, people are selling them on like a used on a Reddit forum somewhere, like used ones.
Yo.
And now I don't know about you. Yeah, they clean them out and things, but I wouldn't trust them for the fucking life of me. Yeah, they
Nope.
might be
I would
discounted.
never.
They might be discounted, but I would never in my fucking life trust that. And apparently,
Never.
recently their quality's gone down. They're like
I would
developing faults in the toys
never.
and things, and I was like, ooh, great.
I would never buy a toy, a used toy from someone. That
That's what,
shit's nasty.
because
I
I
don't care if they clean that shit or
yeah,
not, bro.
but the thought
It's
of it going into
used.
someone else or someone else using it, that's like the thing that
Yo,
puts it off. Right?
someone you
Someone
don't know,
bought
like,
this with their own money and has used it with their genitals or put that inside them.
yo,
I would say I wouldn't. Yeah, if you was to buy one,
they might have used it with other people too.
yeah, And I would fucking recommend if you was gonna get one to deep clean that shit as quickly as fucking possible.
Mm-hmm.
Clean it not just once, but a good handful of times. Yeah, it might break the material or whatever, but do it for your own fucking safety.
Yep. For sure, for sure. I would not. Nope. Like put condoms and shit on that. Fuck.
You know, some people obviously, because anals, you know, for guys and girls, you know, it gets dirty because some people don't clean properly, or you know, it's natural.
Yep.
So most people who are smart, unless you have like one of those like fancy comb tube things, then I can kind of guess why you'd want to use you know, like a condom for it. Because I mean, not just that, but it helps clean it as well and maintain.
Yeah.
And it's that, but then if you was also getting to the mindset of if you're a woman or something, then it also helps you get in the right mindset of using, you know, condoms for protected sex.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Because
That
even though
is
you
true.
may be clean, it's always best to make sure they're clean or, you know, condom.
Yep.
You can test monthly, you know, doesn't kill, but hey, look, if you don't do it anyway, it's always best to test every so often. It's always best to know.
If you never test for STDs, you never know if you have them. So you never have them. Haha.
Logic, if you don't test, you don't have them.
Exactly.
But then you get a text. Someone you may know has contracted STD and has asked all partners and all contacts to go for a test. That's when you know your life is on the fucking line. But you know, you always
Yep.
gotta make sure, health wise, whether it may be, you know, dildos to actual people, dildos, sex toys, things like that, anything really, which can carry them, and you may
Mm-hmm.
use, it's always best to exercise caution on it. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you and your partner could both be safe, like you've tested clean, both of you. That's understandable. But one day you might have touched something, and now you've caught it, and now you passed it on. Now, if you've tested regularly, then they would flag up, and you're safe. But if you don't test regularly, then it kind of flags a red. But I mean, it's about risk, I
Damn.
guess. And that's the thing, ain't it? Like with some porn stars, they've got so many STDs in their life. I think one of them had like 11 or something at one time. Because the fact that they never say it. And this also, apparently, at one furry convention or something, some guy had an orgy in one of his like apartment rooms, and apparently he gave a bunch of them STDs.
Damn.
And because obviously they don't know he's had an STD, they've went and fucked someone else, infected more of them. Because I remember
Mm-hmm.
hearing it or reading about it a little while ago. But I was like, see what I mean? Yeah, you may be gay, you may be straight. I don't care what sexuality you are. But if you're going into a room full of fucking strangers, whether it may
I
be
want to
clothed,
make sure
unclothed,
if I'm ever having an orgy, I'm gonna make sure every single one of them has had a test, and to make sure they are not positive with
I mean,
anything.
you can,
Like
you
make
know,
sure
as
they
long
are
as you
completely
have
clean.
one, as long as you have a condom, you're safe.
Yep, but I mean, still, I'd
Like,
like
if,
to know
yeah,
that
as a
they are
practice of safe sex. Or even if everyone used condoms, it would make a lot more sense.
you.
Yeah, but some people like cream pies. Yeah, blah blah blah. Well, would you rather contract STD or not contract one and save, you know, be happier and not have to shoot yourself in the leg because your medical bills?
Yep, exactly.
It makes no sense half of the time. People do some weird things. Yeah, I understand it. Yeah, you want to, have the feeling, but you can still have a feeling. That's why they make different condoms for you
Uh-huh.
for them to feel more and for you to feel more, and vice versa. Or you got like the ultra thin ones where you can feel everything, but at the end of the day, whatever you may use to keep yourself safe is obviously the best.
Uh-huh. That is true. That is true.
And people got to remember that you in this world, yeah, it might be something really exhilarating to fuck without a condom. Yeah, if you're both clean, that's fine by me. But if you aren't both clean and now someone was a carrier, that's it. That's going to be a
Uh-huh.
life of hell.
Uh-huh.
Until they actually get a warning sign what pops up on themselves. That's why I say I'm pretty sure they made some sort of not dildo, condom, which changes color if they've actually got some sort of STD. Smart
Mm.
idea, but the issue would stand of how would it work? Would the user change color, or would the person who they're fucking change color? Because you might be fucking, and then it would turn whatever color and go, wait, does that mean I've got it? Or does it mean they've got it?
Wait, you just said it was a dildo that changes
No,
color.
no. I corrected myself to condom.
Oh, a condom.
Now you see,
I would assume it would be the person you're using it on.
that's what I mean, because they would have to say it on the labeling or something, or on the package, changes color when the other person, the receiving end, because then you'll know if they aren't safe, and then you can say to yourself, you can tweet it, be like, "Yo, thanks guys for saving my life" or whatnot.
Yeah. Yup.
That's where I say, people always forget about modern medicine and things like that. Where we've, as a society, as a race, we've managed to push on to get to here.
Mm-hmm.
Technology helping some people. You've got a bit of, brain damage, whatever. People who have lost the ability to walk are starting to gain the ability to walk with, latest technology and things.
Mm-hmm. You know what I have heard about?
What?
So the man who owns Tesla itself, Elon Musk, he owns a laboratory that's doing like research on this brain extension that would like allow us to like use prosthetic arms and shit, where it's like they make an extra neural pathway that like you have to put on like an earpiece or something to activate like the neural pathway to connect,
They've been
and then
working
it'll
on
like
that even
yeah,
without Elon,
and
like
they
actual
developed a
science.
robot that like has like real precision like stitching to do it, and yeah.
The thing is, though, because it's made by a Tesla company, that's it. Software glitch. Rest in peace, him.
But he's got like the top scientists in the world.
I think there's other scientists, but are probably better, to be honest with you. Because obviously the ones what are the best are actually operating on real people. So
Yup.
take that. Oh yeah, Tesla and its autopilot, or them being able to play games on it. You mean from yesterday? You can play like
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait,
It's
no.
well, you're
That's
waiting for
not what
your
I
car
was
to
talking
charge.
about.
Hmm. As a joke, I'm really tempted to take the piss out of Gabe if he next comes on and be like, okay, it's okay to be gay, Gabe.
It's okay to be gay, Gabe. Just gonna do him dirty like that.
Well, I still think though he would be better off with a guy than he would be
Gay.
being emotionally tortured by a woman who lives across the fucking world or in a different
Yup.
fucking state.
Yup. Yo, Tom Holland's getting a third Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, apparently they've got it back now. He's returning back to the MCU.
Yup.
Because I mean, I think there was a lot of community uproar over it, and that's what kind of like pressured them to do it.
Yeah, because they're like, fuck, no one wants to see Uncle Ben die again.
Uncle Ben dies again, electric boogaloo.
Exactly, like, we don't need another one of them.
It's crazy though, ain't it?
We don't need a new Spider-Man to make memes about.
I mean, it's some people, fandoms of things as well dictate a lot. Actual movie companies will listen to their fandoms, well, obviously, or just companies in general who listen to their fandoms. They'll be okay. And especially
Tom
the ones
Holland's actually a really good Spider-Man, though.
Yeah. Mr. Stark? I don't feel
I
so
don't
good.
feel so good.
But in that sense, as long as you follow your fandom or listen to your fandom or communicate with them, like some game writers, you remember that furry game, Amorous?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's pretty much dead now. They've like abandoned all of it
Mm-hmm.
because they sold off the characters and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
Now, the writers of the game are still like responsive, so it's actually kind of cool to know in that way because you can ask them and be like, "Yo, what actually happened at the end of the game?" And one day I'm probably going to ask them that so I can actually report back.
You should. That'd be
Um,
interesting.
Yeah. And one day I also want to actually read out the entire fucking furry beef thing. Because I think that still deserves its own spot.
That does.
Because I think it needs someone like us to cover it.
It really does, because we're just fucking stupid like that.
We're stupid and funny.
Yep, we're the stupid funny people to do it.
And also, we know around the fandom and things like that, so we can extra take the piss out of them too. Which is extra points for us. And also then extra tags for me to put at the end of a YouTube video so that I get more clicks on.
Yup.
I mean,
man's is high right now.
oh, he tripping. iPhone 11 and its ultra wide camera plus dick pic.
Oh my god, that's GG easy. Guys win. We're always gonna have a big dick, and then we're gonna like whip it out, and it's gonna be like 2-inch pinch.
Well, I mean, remember it's what 2 to 3 inches to reach the G spot though, so
Yep.
the same thing can be applied to the male's prostate, if I am correct. So thing is, speaking of dick pics and things, any guy you ask, any will most likely take them from the exact same angle they would do with every other picture they've taken.
Yep.
The same exact top-down angle. Laying down, top-down angle. You're in bed undercovers, top-down angle. Exactly the same angle every fucking time. It'll just be their dick in a different position. Would be that's the only thing was different. And I find it really funny on how people were like, they would never notice it until now, until we've actually talked about it. People are gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And then they're gonna be like, "Yo, he's right." And then they're also gonna be like, "Yeah, he's really right on it." It's crazy how this fucking podcast can just go in a different direction.
Apparently, the world's smallest penis is 2.7 inches while erect.
I mean, there's probably smaller ones out there. But then it's all based on genetics.
That's the smallest of the small, apparently. Oh, 1.6 inches.
What do you think, Gibbs?
Ah! I gave 1.6. This does him so dirty.
I find it funny. I just think I need time from him still because of the fact of, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. I would be mad.
Something, but there was more of a beneficial thing. Obviously, because the fact that the episode never aired until only like what, last week? No, 2 weeks ago, I think. You know, I made that new episode. You know, I had no other things that I've done because no one was around. So I was like, okay, I'ma fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, that day where everything went to shit, I obviously went, fuck it, I'm gonna do the one thing I said I wanted to do like a while ago, and I'm gonna expand. I'm gonna get more people in.
Uh-huh.
Because the fact of it, you know, brings a bit of variety to the table, and soon, maybe one day, if this all gets really big, I can cash the fuck out. But I ain't gonna ditch it because I like doing this.
Yeah.
It's what now 2 hours on a weekend, you know, just sitting about on a Sunday talking, just like yeah, just normal. Though
Yeah.
the schedule for these might change.
Sundays. To
Yeah.
another day.
These may change, but
Alright.
so I might as well say it on this because of the fact that then everyone kind of times may change, varying on when I actually start working. Then I'll obviously adjust it to a day where I can guarantee myself would be awake or alive.
Yep. That makes sense.
Because I don't think, as comedic as it would be, me falling asleep on the mic for like 3 to 4 hours after everyone's done this, you know, at the end, that's going to be a pain in the ass for me to, when I wake up going,
Oh shit. Skype recorder's still on and everything.
what's this Skype still open? Recording 5 hours? Wait, I was been asleep.
Fuck.
Shit. Like it should be fucking weird. It would be weird,
That
but
would be
funny.
an L.
I would also edit it.
I would still post the raw, uncut
Yeah.
version of it.
No, the uncut version would just be the standard version. I'd edit it and then just
I would
put
just-
some random messages. I'd listen to me sleeping for the entire time to actually figure out if I said anything and then actually like, explain. If not, then I'm just gonna put in the corner like, yo, I actually fucking fell asleep. It's nice to see that this is growing. Yeah, most it's growing at a small pace, but I don't care. I mean, I'm having fun.
Yup. It's definitely a fun thing to do. I love this podcast.
We're almost at 30 subscribers, right? Now, this may not seem much to anyone.
But I mean, hey, 30 people to entertain is like a room full of people.
Not just that, but we kind of need, we're growing, so more people can listen and there's that. But look at the times where we'd get someone else in. It's this
Yup.
fresh bunch of mix, and then it also is good because they get on the podcast, and then on top of that, they can then tell their friends about it.
Mm-hmm. That is true. That is
Now,
true.
sharing
that
is
true.
our important key to growth here.
Yup.
Even if it's in that one Discord server, of your mates where you don't really speak in. You could be like, hey guys, I've just got into this podcast and it's actually really cool because the guys chill or whatever, right? Or
Yup.
someone else is going to be in a completely different Discord server and go, well, guys, love it or hate it, he's actually speaking mad facts at this timestamp. Or there would be that one Discord like, yo, guys, I think we're actually onto something good here. If, you guys take a listen to it, maybe we can get in there one day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm enjoying because it's growing. Because it's growing as well. I don't care if, it never grows. I'm doing this, and if someone else finds it, and then maybe a few years from now, if we completely ditch the project and we completely forget about it, I can still look back and go, that's a lot. Or that you never know, there would be that one day we'll forget about doing this or something. Fast forward maybe 2 years or something, and I'm going to look back at this account or something like that, and I'm going to see it's got thousands and thousands of people, and I'd be like, yo, that's crazy. And I'd tell you, and then who knows?
Yup. That's really how it goes. That's how everything grows. It's just people telling
And
people.
also, you never know if we might actually get some ad rev out of it. That's the key part to it is, the revenue, but I don't care about it. I make videos.
I don't care if I don't make money from it. But I mean, I would like to make money from it, but if I don't, oh well. It's a fun thing to do.
I mean, even if you aren't going to be paid much, even if I say, okay, here's $1 for your troubles, even if I go, yeah, I know you've done a 6-hour episode with me today, here's $1.
If I do 6 hours, I'm not gonna get $1 from that shit, bro.
Okay, what do you want? $1 and an iPhone 11 dick pics? From an ultra wide lens?
Good enough. The jokes.
In before someone fucking sends you one.
Nah.
You can look on your Snapchat and be like, yo, what? Someone's added me. Who is this? And then boom, iPhone 11 ultra wide camera dick pic. You're just like, I'm just gonna end myself right here, right now.
I would. I really would.
Would. WOOD. Ha. Ha. Funny.
A very funny joke.
Insert Minecraft theme. Like I say, I do videos on Hub, right?
Yep.
Because obviously I had a huge break from it, like 7 months. I kind of came back, and I say the same thing. I don't care. I'm just doing this for fun at this point. Yeah, I might just completely stop uploading entirely one day because I just can't be able to do it. But I'm enjoying myself. Yeah, 467 subscribers and 782,000 overall viewers. Right? I don't care about that. To me, I see both of those as zero.
Yep.
I don't care if anyone likes them. Yeah, you can absolutely love them. That's cool on you. You want to talk to me? That's cool on you. I'm chill with talking to anyone, right? You don't like it? Okay, what can I do to improve? Because I just don't care. I'll have fun in my way. And I enjoy having fun. Like before I was before I had my other PC, this new PC, back then I was really serious about it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get big. I'm gonna try and get big. I had that huge 7 month break a little while ago, and I said, I'm I'm not gonna be as serious because this was like 2 weeks, 2 videos every week, and obviously that becomes a problem. And especially during this time, I was an admin, in that large Discord server, so time for me was very restricted. So I'd say, okay, I need an admin on before I leave, so I can actually, do this and make sure nothing goes to shit.
Yep.
Now, that's not existent. That problem's not existent, so I can chill out. Not just that, but I'm only doing a video a week. I might do 2 videos a week again, and then I can just go for how long I want. So it could be.
Yep.
So I don't have to worry about going, oh shit, okay, I'll make it half an hour, and then go from there. Same thing with this podcast. If it wasn't really for me, for that server having its action taken upon it, I don't think this podcast would probably exist. Because of the fact of I dedicate my time to have fun.
Yep.
I enjoy this podcast fucking dearly.
Oh yeah, no, this is so fun to do. I love doing the podcast. I love just sitting here talking.
Yeah, it's countless. It's virtually useless talk, but someone out there is going to enjoy it. And this is the thing I always look back at. I might not find it interesting sometimes, but like, what are you gonna do?
Yep, you just kind of gotta deal with it.
We are currently on our 25th episode, including episode 00.
Damn.
And excluding, so far we've done 27 uploads, including our cut out pieces.
Yeah.
So just think, we've almost hit, and we've done this almost weekly. Yeah, at first it was Fridays and Sundays.
Yep.
And then we cut out the Fridays.
Yep.
And now we're just running it out the Sunday. But like I say, I might change it because my work schedule, which should be coming soon. And I don't mind changing it about, because like I say, we're having fun, aren't we?
Yep, I'm having a ball.
And that's the thing most people kind of forget is we kind of also need to be happy when making this, because if this kind of happened when I was on the hub, I enjoyed making it at one point, but then it dies. You can, once you get more serious into it, and then you go, I'm getting burnt out, and then you get to the point where you're just like, hello, welcome to another video, and then in your head's just like, just fucking after this one, take a break. Fast forward, and I did. I utilized my time elsewhere, and then I was like, okay. And then that's when we cut to episode 00 to be exact, where I sent you a message. I was like, yo, you want to do a podcast? It's crazy on how we can look back on things.
It really is.
And just think, we tried it. This podcast's 6 months old.
This podcast is 6 months old.
Maybe a bit older, because it was, originally uploaded on SoundCloud.
This is already 6 months old.
Yeah. It's already half a year old.
Holy shit! Time flies by.
And just think, we started from literally nothing, from me using a static image to utilizing everything I've got so far. I'm thinking of making an actual intro instead of, just making some music.
Oh shit! I dropped my phone. Whoops.
I might change it up. I want to maybe actually change the song and maybe give it an actual intro instead of it just being a standard image.
I get that. I get that.
And it makes sense. I kind of need to jazz it up just for my
It
standards.
needs to evolve.
Like, everyone's okay with it. If anyone actually has any feedback, feel free to drop it in the comments.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, yeah, I know my chances are slim to none getting anyone big, any famous person on it, right?
Yep.
Okay. But I could still grab people who are rising stars.
Uh-huh. That is true. That is true.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I can risk it and go, hey, I'm going to actually grab a cam girl and see if she wants to actually do one. And then we can, prod about in
That
how
would
it's like
be
to be in, the cam world and things like that.
that would like blow up.
And then
I feel like.
they can put it in their social media, and then boom.
Can you
Hey,
imagine that?
blah, blah. And then look at that. We've just made,
The inside look of a cam girl's life.
like, yeah, there's been articles and things, but there's not really been like a time where someone's had a through thorough interview.
Like an actual conversation about it.
Most of the time you see on YouTube, or I don't even know if they do them on YouTube, you'd see them edited and things like that because the fact that they only want to get the douchey drama bits out of it. For me,
Uh-huh.
I don't want the drama out of it. Yeah, you can throw the drama in, like, oh yeah, but then this person happened and that person. Yeah, I don't mind that because obviously it's part of your conversation. It's part of the talk.
Mm-hmm.
So by talking about it, you're then granting yourself a spotlight for yourself to talk on. Granted, it may be a little awkward for yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it might be a bit awkward for us or for them, but who cares? We're getting the views, they're getting the platform.
Uh-huh.
It's helping each other out because, if they do rise to a stardom, we could be like, hey. And if their fans would look through and go, oh, listen to this, they'll go, they might go, I don't really like it, or I like these, and they'll listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, look at that. Another viewer, another fan.
Uh-huh.
Mutual growth.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with pretty much anything, really. Racing drivers to, businessmen, entrepreneurs, things like that. Or even a game developer just trying to find some sort of platform to talk about his game.
Yep.
I mean, we may not have anything, right? But for them, just sitting on a podcast talking about their game, or getting even involved in a bit of talk as well. Yeah, if we was to interview someone, we can actually make questions for it, but then we can also bring them into a few free fire questions of just talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, I don't mind bringing anyone in as long as it makes sense for me too. There's some guys on the other group of the podcast bringing in one of their friends soon, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine with that because then it gives you guys
I want to bring in some of my friends too.
That's what I mean. It brings more of a platform to us and them. Because then they can go on their Snap stories, they can go on their Instagram and be like, guys, I'm in a podcast now, listen to it. And then they'll go to it, flocks of people. That boosts our
Yep.
numbers up. YouTube's algorithm goes, that's got a lot of views on, I'm going to put that in recommended in talk shows now. Boom.
Yup.
And apparently, some of our YouTube search clicks actually came from people searching the word porn. Remember the times where we'd have the porn punchline?
Yup.
That. 33.3% to be exact. Some poor soul was scrolling through and went, podcast.
Like, the fucking podcast.
Talking about
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, and then they just get fucking baited out of it. Like I say, yeah, because I see like the creative tools and things. I don't care if it gets watched up to halfway or the whole thing gets watched. Because again, we talk about shit. I don't care. Like I say, I don't care if this really takes off. Yeah,
You
I might
listen
get a
up
bit
to
more.
what you want to listen up to, you know?
Yeah, like I
If we
say,
get too weird for you,
you could just skip ahead.
just stop listening.
You could skip ahead for that matter and see if
Yeah.
we stop talking about it.
See if we got normal again.
Not just that, but I try, and the reason why I say I try is because half of the time I'll edit it the night before or the day after and render it. And during that time, I'm probably doing something else. So by the time I'm either back from it being rendered, I've forgotten everything that happened in the episode. But I'm trying in the description to at least bring some sort of brief points in there on what I actually talked about in there.
Yep.
Which makes sense, obviously. You're building, that's why I say if this gets really big one day, yeah, obviously I'll actually get a bit serious. But
Mm-hmm.
these are all piping dreams still. We are miles away from that.
Nope, we're miles away from anything right now, man.
I mean, for you,
We
fucking zoned anyway, so.
we're like me, like where I live, in the middle of nowhere.
That's what I mean. And to be frankly honest with you, I wouldn't actually mind starting a recording studio there because of the fact of one, it'd be cheap because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere, and two, because I mean, who wouldn't want to actually like base up in Canada?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. If it ever gets really big and I actually make bank out of it, that's what I'm gonna do. But for that time,
I'd be another famous Canadian boy.
that's what I mean. But until then, I'm gonna keep this. This is a little pet project, really. Yeah, same thing with my hub. I might kill off my hub videos at any time because the fact of I get bored of it. So
Yep,
it's so
yep,
much
yep,
you
yep.
can really read. She looked out the window and sighed. Mate, do you think I really enjoy doing them? If she walked up the stairs towards
You
me.
should do it high. Role play the characters.
The thing is, I'm trying my best to bring something different, and I've managed to recover my favorite folder out of all of my old PC shit. My green
What's
screen memes folder.
Green screen memes folder.
Yes, and the name exactly says what it does on the tin. It's all of my green screen memes, which I can then throw into a video. Which I'm planning to do again because of the fact that I miss doing them. It adds a funny twist. Look at the one time, so fucking long ago. It was a really suspenseful moment. And the character turns around in the game, and I had the Big Connect man fucking screaming at the top of his lungs and nearly killed some guy. It just makes no sense on how we look back at it now. And then people were like, I don't like it. It's like, fucking suit you. But that's why I had that break anyway, is because I just myself didn't like it. You work yourself to the point where you go, I quit. At least with this, I can dedicate a good, hour plus on just a day to talk. And then boom. I think, though, we should wrap it up. I'm pretty sure you're shit-faced at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking.
Yeah, you're just like out of this
Hi.
fucking world.
Yeah.
Guys, if you like this episode, make sure you like it, comment about it, talk about it, tell your friends, tell your mum, your dad, your gramps, your gran, fuck it, even tell your dog.
Damn right. Tell your dog. We
If
need
you
dog
wanna
viewers.
hear some different content, or maybe us streaming some funny games or something, we could probably do that. Get like the Talk O'Clock crew playing like some game.
Yep.
We'll see about that. If you like this, talk about it to your friends. If you want to have a certain topic mentioned or have a brief moment of talk about, throw us a topic suggestion or explain what you want us to talk about, and we can probably make that work.
Yup.
If not, if I forget to upload next week, I'll probably upload next week as well. So fear not. So we'll probably see you next week. Goodbye.
All right. Audio.